Hello everybody, and welcome to the start of the Shu campaign on Let's Play Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends. Last time on this, we finished Wu's hypothetical route. Or actually, no, we finished these missions. In this episode, we're heading into the Shu route, which is probably, if I remember right, the longest route in the entire game. Having the most missions, the most characters, and the most different things. Without further ado, let's start. By the way, to explain about Shu, Shu is a nation that was basically not formed by a person who was a warlord from the start, but by a very, very distant relative of the Han legacy, of the Han dynasty's bloodline, the Liu family, basically being like twice removed. The Han mainly the Shu mainly wants to reinstate the Han, the glory of the Han Empire, under basically after the Han Dynasty fell and the Three Kingdoms started. Their entire goal was to start the Han, keep the Han Dynasty keep going, basically that, under Liu Bei. But that's a long time from now. We are actually starting at the beginning of the conflict of the Three Kingdoms era, the one that basically started the Three Kingdoms as we know it, with the Yellow Turban Rebellion, which was a Taoist peasant rebellion where Zhang Zhao basically received a text from heaven called the Mandate of Heaven, if I'm right, or I forgot the exact thing. Oh, the Way of Peace. It was called the Way of Peace, which basically was about things that allowed them to do miracles and many great things. But one of the things is that the time of the Han has fallen. And it was now time, and basically they were saying that it started off very peaceful, but the imperial court didn't like them saying the time of the Han was over. So they started slaughtering them en masse. That ended up becoming the yellow. Then they started to take up arms, and this slight religious movement turned into a full-on rebellion, taking up a huge section of China. Without further ado, Zhang Zhao, the leader of the Way of Peace, has risen in rebellion, worked together with the Imperial force to help the people and defeat the rebel leader. And this is where we start our story, with Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei. Heck, they're not even warlords or nobody, they're peasant troops that have made a pact together. They swore an oath of a brotherhood, basically to swear to become brothers and die. They were not born on the same night. They will all die on the same day, basically in order to reunify China. Without further ado, let's start, because I make this left exposition for now. Near the end of the Eastern Han Dynasty, the long-standing rule of the Han Imperial Court was on the decline. This is actually one of the more I'm actually very excited to play these guys. The high-handed policies of the eunuchs and relatives of the emperor ran unchecked, causing people to become fed up with the political corruption. With everybody suffering, sad and filled with outrage, it seemed as if there was no hope for the future. In the midst of this situation, Zhang Zhao, the leader of the Way of Peace, led his followers in rebellion. After they got slaughtered. Instantly, the movement spread to the far corners of the land, and the uprising grew rapidly in size, yet took them one-fifth of the continent. It would later become known as the Yellow Turban Rebellion. In response, the Imperial Court formed an army in order to suppress the rebels. Numerous warlords from around the land answered to the call of arms. Among them were 3 men who rose in unison, part of enlisted troops. Liu Bei, claimed to be a son of the royal family, was a man who lamented the suffering of the people. Accompanying him were Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, 2 powerful warriors which served as his sworn brothers. Zhang Fei was a butcher. Guan Yu was a martial artist who was wanted for murder. In the age ongoing for the Chaos of Change, these men stepped forward to the battlefield. Yeah, Guan Yu was a murderer who basically saw someone abusing a person, went out, killed him, and then was wanted for murder. Basically ran off into the village where Liu Bei was. Zhang Fei was a butcher who was just selling meat. Guan Yu lifted the boulder, basically on a dare of one of Zhang Fei's men, or basically workers. He's like, hey, if you lift this boulder, you can get as much meat as you want. Guan Yu lifted it, and then Zhang Fei and Guan Yu brawled in a misunderstanding. Basically, she just thought he was just stealing his meat, because he didn't realize it was a dare. And then Liu Bei basically was slinging the entire thing. They both got in his thing, because he started sighing at the imperial... basically, when he saw that the imperial thing, he sighed. These sort of like, what the heck? Why are you sighing? It's honorable to fight in the military. And he was like, it's just that I can't. I'm too weak to really fight. And they both made it up with the Red of Arms. And yes, by the way, I genuinely recommend you watch the Romance of the Three Kingdoms 1994 series if you want to understand more about the Romance of the Three Kingdoms side, especially Shu. And it's great. Though I do, like, I'm going to say, Shu in history is a lot more gray versus this game. This game tries to make them very virtuous and justice-based, but in actual history, they were very gray. They put the people at heart, but they're a lot more, like, willing to do certain things. War crimes. But one of them being also they nerfed Liu Bei's intelligence. Liu Bei apparently was a master, like, strategist, or, like, a really, really good strategist. And a lot of his victories were given to his strategist later down the line. But anyways, let's start the match. Now, I'll only be doing every character for the historical route. When we get to the hypothetical, which I don't really like that much, I'm going to do one battle in if they have third weapon. Also a third person thing. You'll learn more about his character in this, though, than anything I could ever say. Get out of my face! Bah.
Indeed. Now that we are sworn brothers.
I'll explain more about Zhang Fei and then when we play as them. But Guan Yu and Zhang Fei are extremely strong. Guan Yu especially. Like in Three Kingdoms, in the actual history, he was very strong, but not as strong. He was a much better duelist than he actually was a like warrior than he was a leader. But yeah. Also, they are not brothers in the sense of being of the same mother, but of the same goal. So yeah. Anyway, Liu Bei. Liu Bei wields two swords. He originally wielded one sword, but they gave him two swords after Dynasty Warriors. They gave him the weapon of Lu Xun. 1, 2, 3. I actually am really excited to play these guys because Shu has a lot of my favorite characters. I like Wei and I love Shu too. And honestly, Shu has grown on me a lot over the years. Shu used to be like one of my least favorites, but it became Shu after a long time. I mean, he is basically the main character for the main part, like the first half of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, so it does make sense. Oh, Heejin. I didn't like you before, I hate you now. If you're wondering why, Heejin is one of the reasons why the entire conflict started. I learned more about him and his sister's involvement in a lot of the Three Kingdoms conflict thanks to the 1994 series, and I've grown to kind of despise Heejin. Hello, Cao Cao. Also, I found out Cao Cao is actually one of the adopted grandson of one of the eunuchs. If you actually didn't know. Yeah, it's not really mentioned ever in the games about who is the Sao family came in. He used to be a Xiahou, but his father was adopted by one of the eunuchs who wanted a son, which was the which is one of the Saos. That's actually a major plot of why they wouldn't, according to the series, why they wouldn't listen to him. Now, hypothetical objective. In that, you basically break this gatekeeper down and you go into that village there, which there are a couple peasants being attacked by yellow turbans. What you want to do, if you want to don't do it, ignore them. Charlie Guosi was apparently a pretty strong warrior in history. Sorry, Liu Bei, but you're going to be the one ignoring them. It's going to be Zhang Fei, which I think will rescue them. Also, fun fact about Zhang Zhao. Zhang Zhao never actually fought in war, or in the actual conflict. Zhang Zhao died before he could. Zhang Liang and Zhang Bao are the ones who actually fought. Zhang Zhao died of illness. All I say is, oof. But yeah, he basically called falling rocks. Oh no, ice. Sorry. Actually, what is your level now? 4. Excuse me. Liu Pi. Oh, here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another EX move. Where basically stabs his sword into the ground and then causes an explosion. I always like Liu Bei with 1 sword versus 2. Though I actually know what I'm talking about. I think historically he actually did use 2 swords in battle. That's what he was like known for like weapon of choice. Ow. But yeah, Zhang Bao and Zhang Liang actually fought. Hey, Pei Yuan Shao, aka known as Not Yuan Shao. Yes, the godly axe, also known as claws. Alright. Now the one mission I'm not looking forward to is the is one of the missions for it's just running into walls. But is the one with Tao Qian. No! No more ice! One, 2, 3. I also know they were called the different generals, and it goes like the General of Heaven, the General of People, the General of Earth. That's why the Heaven, Earth, and thing comes from. I actually wonder how the series would be different if Zhang Zhao actually wasn't added, but instead it was his brothers. Well, it makes sense for Zhang Zhao to be added, because Zhang Zhao is the actual guy who formed the Way of Peace, you know? They just had to play fast and loose with him in this game. And the way of virtue shall fail. 4, 5. Actually, whenever you see a level up thing, it basically earn another thing. Also, Zhang Zhao has one of the most interesting voices in the entire game! Which you'll see. Why are you attacking random villages that have nothing to do with the Imperial Court and just pillaging them? So, gets chopped in half. But yeah, one thing with the Yellow Turban Rebellion is they actually target civilians as well, so...
Brother, do not lose heart. Our battle was based on honor principles.
Honor!
That's right. If we don't stop these rampaging fools, then there'll never be an end to it.
Yeah, sorry about dumping so much info on you guys.
It pains me to see such fear and suffering.
Jin will have less stuff to say, because there's not really much I can say. I don't really know much about Jin.
Turbans calm down a little. The people will be much better off. However, the true cause of the people's pain is still around.
Yes,
It's called the Imperial Court in Dongchuo.
just the beginning.
Oh, you have no idea. 100 years of war. And that's the end of that. We also unlocked the Yellow Turban conflict for the others actually being able to play as Zhang Zhao. Yeah, we also have everyone. Cool. Yeah. Now it's time for the refights. If you want to skip to the next episode, you can, but I will be playing the rest of them, including getting the Thetrixus. There is no fourth weapon for the stage, I am sorry to say. But we will be playing as Zhong Fei. Zhong Fei was an interesting, well, kind of a, not, I don't know how to describe him. Because Zhong Fei is a very controversial character in history, and in the book. For Zhong Fei was known for being a blizzard drunk and morally bankrupt. He fought for Liu Bei, but I'm just gonna say this: if he worked for any other person other than Liu Bei, he would have been seen as like a major threat, like evil. I was just gonna say that for some of the stuff he did, including kidnapping and Zhao Dun and Zhao Yuan's sister, or was it their niece, and forcing her to be his wife. There's drinking on the job despite being ordered not to. There's him beating his own soldiers with like a whip. But yeah, Zhong Fei. And it's kind of sad because I do like the Dynasty Warriors interpretation of Zhong Fei, but Zhong Fei in actual history was a horrible person. Like a horrible person. I know that most people in Dynasty Warriors are. Looking at you, Cao Cao. Seriously, I found that out later. Cao Cao was a major jerk in history. His mandated massacres are one thing I have to say. But yeah, Zhang Fei has, and here's the thing, canonically he has done those things despite being this version of Zhang Fei, so I'm not going to defend him. So, here's his other Muso where he drinks wine, and I think it's the one of two references to his drinking problem. Yeah. He was also known for being so strong he wielded a serpent spear, by the way, is basically a glaive, with one hand. This thing. They made it two-handed in this game, but in history, like a double-bladed weapon, in actual history, it's one blade at the top that's just like the size of a human torso. He wielded this thing with one hand, and would swing it around like a freaking club like this. Despite being a random butcher with no combat experience.
This chaos shall help establish my name throughout the land. We cannot afford to fall behind.
But yeah. I'm gonna wait because Zhang Fei is gonna rescue them. But yeah. Excuse me.
I'll be happy to let you take charge next battle. Somebody help us! We're being attacked by the yellow turbans.
Now, I'm going to say this, well, the events aren't going to transpire because of us rescuing the civilians, despite it being the most Liu Bei thing in, Dynasty War's Liu Bei thing to do, is totally not historically accurate. Seriously. I think my brother died in Lethal Company. Anyways. Yeah. Also, by the way, every single one of these Yellow Turban generals die here. There is no escaping for them. They just canonically dead. But yeah, I'll show off his Muso in a bit. His Muso is, I think, a grab Muso, or is it a reference to the Changban? But yeah. Zhongfe, or Zhongfei. Zhongfe or Zhongfei. I think it's Zhongfei. So, 1, 2, 3, // I'll talk more about what happens to Zhongfei. I'll try not to be as spoiler heavy as I was with Wu, sadly. I was very spoiler heavy with Wu, I admit. But I'll be trying to be less spoiler heavy with Shu, comparatively. Even though if you've watched my other Let's Plays, you know what happened, like my other episodes in this. By the time this is out, really all out, you will know what happened to the rest of them. I'll show off his Muso. Grab him! Spin, spin, spin! Also, I like how this is actually one of the few maps that shows off the desert. If you didn't know, China is actually, I think, like 20% desert. It's actually China's a very cool climate, if you look at it. It has, like, a lot of desert, a lot of, jungle, like, basically every climate. Except for, like, Arctic. And even then, I think it actually does have some Arctic in it. Some snow. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, probably not. I mean, Arctic is desert, so... Bonk. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Slash. I definitely prefer his Dynasty Warriors, I do say this, I prefer his Dynasty Warriors 5 moveset over this one, where he has the single blade, and he basically swings it around a lot more. I feel like that was a much better moveset for him. But I do like this moveset as well. Oh yeah, we should probably swap weapons. Never done that before. And here comes a giant fist! Ow! Stop it! Oh. Hello, Zhangbao. Bonk, bonk. Oh, this is like a poison. Get it? Because it actually fits because it's a serpent blade, you know? Also, it's havoc, apparently. Or that range. These are the lights that shall lead the world to peace. Allow you to interfere. Bonk. Goodbye, kiss. This time he's alive, though. They don't kill him instantly.
You would kill me and persecute my children.
They're building a giant statue of you out of stone.
Will bring back your lost heaven.
I think 7 handles him better than this game. Him having unique speech to every single one of the lords in the game and about their fates. Again, I think I'm gonna do 7 one day though.
To cut you down or hurt your people. Causing discord is a crime, but the human heart can both forgive and atone for such acts. You preach the way of peace. Cast aside violence and lead the people with your heart. Oh, my lord! You are a great man indeed.
Also, Zhang Zhao is also called Zhang Jue.
That I am meant to follow your teaching.
They changed it to Zhang Liao in this for some reason. Though it's Zhang Jue. Or Zhang Zhu.
How naive! No, this is the way. Look at the happy faces of the people. That's great! Wonderful! Well, you might be right.
And this is how Zhang Zhao joined Shu.
Has taken the first
This never happened.
on his long
Ever. In anything other than this. But anyways, let's show off Guan Yu. Guan Yu is one of the most famous people from the Three Kingdoms era. If not the most famous. Known for his loyalty, his valor, and his extreme martial might. He was known for facing off in, well, he was also known for being called the God of War. So much so that I think he was actually made into the God of War, or at least a protective spirit. Like basically, where a lot of like Chinese temples actually have him carved out like in that like wood and stone. He also known for having like really dark red skin
the blade in service of honor shall
and a long beard. I think I'm talking about like a foot long, like down to his chest. Beard, long straight beard, which is why every single version of him has a long straight beard. Anyways, first thing, now he has flames on his weapon. I will be doing it one day, probably not a while after, but one day. Also, Guan Yu has one of my favorite movesets in the entire series of the in every game Guan Yu's in. I love it. The Guan Dao. That's what it was called. The Guan Dao is an amazing weapon that I use. It actually is what I use for my main the character I created inside of Empires. When I joined Cao Cao and did Turban, this is what I actually did. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, when I do, if I do Empires, I'll probably be doing either 8 or 7. Better just volunteer troop. Everyone fight already. And chop, 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 chop. Chop!
I knew you could do it. Right on, brother.
Okay, unlock the new moveset, which will probably be the pop-up move. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, really. Usually. Okay, let's show off his moveset.
Perfect opportunity to strike.
Guan Yu and Cao Cao also have a bit of a tumultuous, is that the right word? Relationship? No, that's the wrong word. Have a bit of a interesting relationship in the in the Three Kingdoms era. For Guan Yu and Cao Cao have an extreme mutual respect for one another. Like, extreme mutual respect slash, like, fear. Because, yeah. Which we'll see later. I mean... Right. Also, we get to a new objective. Also, Shu has some of the more interesting secondary objectives for characters. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop up! It's basically one of the better moves for him. Okay, there's no one with shields. Does a lot of damage. But yeah, I use Guan Yu in basically every single version of this game. In every single version of this game, he's amazing. Alright, by the way, here are also unique sorcery troops. Bonk. Oh yeah, by the way, that move is ridiculous for its range. Seriously, they're all dead. They've all been smited immediately. That's how good it is. Raining face. I keep thinking it's fire. I don't know why. 1, 2, 3, and they're all dead. Man, yeah. Again, pretty freaking good. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Bonk. Oh, bonk. And we have a second Musa bar. Slash, 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 slash.
You are no ordinary fighter, now are you? Very good. I shall remember your efforts. Words cannot describe.
Alright, hello, Zhang Bao. Give me your head! Your head is mine! You know what's probably the funniest thing? That is very accurate to actual Guan Yu. Guan Yu was very much known for running up to people. Like, running up to officers, going to their face and just chopping them in one shot. And just taking out officers in one hit. That was like something he was very known for with the during Guan Du. Kill me on one show. Anyways, but no Yang Liang or Zhang Liang. Bonk. Destroy them all! Bonk, bonk. Right, jump down here, and let's take the head of Zhang Jue. But yeah, if you want the most in-depth start to end story, you want to go with Shu first, by the way. I was considering whether to do Shu or Wei first, because they're basically two sides of the same coin. But I decided with, but this one goes farther, so that's why I decided to do Wei first, and just do them in the orders. I got allowed to interfere. Wait, what am I doing, Muso? Muso. In that case, I get chopped in half like one Yu style. And that's, well, the end of that. Next, we'll just play Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends. Shu will be heading into the Battle of Hulao Gate, which will be playing with a new character, Zhao Yun. See you guys then. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Peace.